Meet Dali Sullivan, an 18-year-old recent graduate from Alpine, Texas. Over the summer, Dali spent months planning, researching, and finally representing herself in a court debating her class ranking. She got ranked third in her graduating class and continued on to sue her school for miscalculating grade point average. Despite the fact that she had already accepted scholarships and committed to a college, Dali spent her final senior summer in a Zoom courthouse simply to receive a number. According to a 2002 study at the University of Michigan, 80% of students surveyed based their self-worth on academic performance. At Clayton, this pressure for good grades, with the connection between happiness and numbers, is all too strong. Dali lost her battle with the school, but raised many questions about grading and the connection students make with grades and self-worth.
I feel like a lot of my self-worth is based on my grades, specifically just like the letters, and also in comparison to other people's grades as well.
No, it's not, my grades don't define me, but it kind of defines my work ethic in my mind.
But in getting a bad grade, knowing that other people got good grades makes me feel like disappointed in myself.
I think the culture at Clayton really encourages students to assign a lot of worth and a lot of value to their grades, because especially when you've been labeled kind of as a good student, you were in the gifted program, people having higher expectations of you, but when it's kind of your identity revolves around that, I think it can be really toxic, and I see that a lot with people at Clayton.
I would say that I'm only happy with the grade if it's an A.
I'm not completely happy with my grade unless I know that I've done the best out of everyone.
Because I think also at Clayton we have, in addition to like a grade culture and just like an individual need to want to do well, there's also kind of, I guess, some competition.
I recognize that it's stupid, but in terms of like what makes me like feel accomplished, it's definitely that A+.
I am happy when I get an A. That's like the only self-fulfilling thing that I get.
I'm often not happy with my grades. I'm always feeling like I could have done something different or I should have done better.
And I think that's something I've learned over my years at Clayton, is I used to think even if I worked my hardest, then my hardest just wasn't enough if I wasn't getting the A. So I think it's like a big thing that you kind of have to realize as you go through high school, is that it's more about your effort and acknowledge that and kind of give yourself the credit.
I prioritize getting good grades over actually learning content, and that can often just force sometimes I just forget things that I've learned because it doesn't matter if I don't have the good grade, and it doesn't matter whether I learn it as long as I have the good grade.
You can get points off, or your grade can go slightly down because of something so arbitrary that doesn't really reflect your entire skills as a learner.
It's not a good reflection of what I actually understand and what I'm going to continue to understand after I take that test.
I find a lot of times what happens is we'll finish a unit in class, or I'll take a test and I'll understand how to do it on the test, but by literally the next day, I've kind of blocked that out and moved on to the next thing that I need to be memorizing, or the next grade that I need to be getting.
Cause it's like I can know the material, but just the amount of work can pile up on me quickly and I won't get anything done.
Tests grade your ability to take tests well, and it doesn't really grade your work ethic, which I think we should be graded on.
If the administration and teachers can work together to kind of look at the different ways that grading can be used to, one, accurately represent the students' knowledge of the material, but also have students feel like their effort is reflected in some way, and have students be proud of their grades and acknowledge that that's the grade that they got, but also be willing to move on more easily and know that it doesn't affect the rest of their life.
The teachers are always like, yeah, we need to stop doing this, and the counselor's always like, yeah, you should just put less pressure on yourself. But I feel like just saying that doesn't change 10 years since kindergarten. What did you get on your spelling test or whatever?
In terms of a systemic thing, I'm not entirely sure that they always do reflect learning in a course. What they often seem to reflect more is is a student able to play the game of school? And are they able to manage all of the different responsibilities that are put onto young people?
So I strive to make it. I don't think it's perfect. So, and that's why the way I've reevaluated is we try to do some of these new things that have maybe happened this year, whether it's around retakes or test corrections or other things, because it's not perfect. Right? I don't know if there's a perfect system. We're trying to refine and get better.
Parents and families need to take that step and say to young people, this is not about your worth. This is not who you are. It's about the quality of this work in this circumstance.
The advice I would give to a student who is hyper-focusing on their grade is learn to focus on learning. And if you can focus on learning the content, the grade will come with it. Be patient. The grade at the end is what matters, and it is a journey. That process of getting to the end is more important than a single snapshot along